Welcome. We made it to episode 3 of the podcast, and Aren is joining us. Hello, Aren.
Hey.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel much better than I did a week ago.
Describe what happened to you last week. I think people want to know.
Oh, yeah. Well, nothing really much from the story that we last told. Basically, I ate eggplant, and I was flat on my back for 24 hours. And until now, I'm still dealing with the digestive repercussions of this.
Oh, I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, so, that's my life and my problems.
The problem is that here in South Africa, they don't call it eggplant. They call it something else.
Aubergine.
Aubergine.
And
just
like,
so
we like
if
eating
you say,
aubergine.
Are you putting eggplant in this? Then they go, oh, no, there's no eggplant in there.
You ever heard of a
but we do
Walla
have some
Walla?
aubergine.
You ever heard of a Walla Walla?
And a Walla Walla.
Walla Walla is a dolphin.
In Walla Walla.
And what's that bird's name that they
Hadada.
Hadada. That's the best name for a bird.
Aubergine.
Okay,
Hadada.
we had some feedback on the last podcast, gentlemen. They want to know about security in South Africa. One of my favorite topics. The first question that I get asked when people talk about South Africa is it safe? Is it safe? Is it safe?
Depends on where you go.
Question.
So, Iden, do you feel safe where we are here?
It depends where you are.
No, here. I'm just talking about like right here. We are in a VRBO rental at the V&A waterfront.
V&A waterfront, yes.
And do you want to tell people what kind of security we have here?
There's so much security. You have to walk through like 3 gates to get here. And in order to get into V&A, you got to walk through like a ton of security guards.
And they have their own, they have their own private safety too.
Yeah, they have their own private security system here, and they have their own private security system at the apartments. Yeah. So you don't really see any interesting personalities. If your hairdo is so much, if you so much as have a, if you so much as have bedhead, you're not going to be able to go to V&A.
No, they let people in. It's just that if you look like you're troubled, they'll stop you. Mm. So this is actually one of the safest places in Cape Town. It's a green zone. When you look at the crime map. What's the crime map called that we looked at?
We're surrounded by red.
Yeah, so there's a crime map on the internet called Crime Stats SA. And if you go to that website, you can go to the heat map and it'll show you all the places in Cape Town that are generally safe. So V&A waterfront is a green zone. There are green, and I think that I'd go up as much to an orange zone. But you can see in the red zones, there's like walls, electric fences, more walls, more electric fences, dogs. So in those red zones, if you actually go to the right places in there, you're going to be perfectly safe. Like we were talking to someone who had lived in Johannesburg, where the crime problem is very bad. And, they all lived in perfect security. They just had very large walls and very electric fences.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a checkerboard of safe, not safe, not safe. And even in the not safe areas, it just depends where you are and who you are, too. I mean, some people will leave you alone if you're just dressed inconspicuously. But if you're driving one of those luxury cars, not so much. Okay. We should talk about the big news this week. Iden got admitted to graduate school. Congratulations, Iden.
Yes.
Oh, don't sound so excited.
I'm very excited.
Well, tell us about how you found out about it and what you'll be studying.
Oh man, that's a funny story. So I accidentally deleted my acceptance letter. It was in my trash. I had so much spam in my email, and I was just trying to get rid of it all. So I just mass deleted a ton of things, and whoopsie daisy.
And then how did you find out that
my
you inadvertently...
acceptance letter got into my trash? Oh goodness me, wowzers! This is not a great situation to be in.
I know, but you discovered that you had deleted it later. So it was a couple of days, and then...
Yeah, I got it on March 1st, and on March 3rd, I got this email saying, hey, Iden, you can activate your UFID now. Congratulations, you officially have access to the on-campus resources. Congratulations! Even before you have to pay anything, you just get all the access. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? Why is a random school giving me access to their campus? And then I'm like, oh wait a minute. Wait. I remember deleting a lot of emails just a few days ago. Would that possibly be correlated? And I went to my trash, and lo and behold, my acceptance letter.
I'm glad you didn't delete the acceptance letter. That would have been problematic.
That would have been... No, I did delete it. It was problematic.
No, I mean permanently delete it,
Well, it doesn't leave until like... It doesn't
It's
permanently
30 days,
get deleted
yeah,
until 30 days. And
right.
also I had until like March 13th.
Right.
So even if it did get deleted, I wouldn't have had enough time.
I think people want to know, where are you going to go to school? What are you studying? And are you going to be doing online, or are you going to be there in person?
Look, there's a lot of bad sentiment towards online education, specifically when it comes to Zoom. But when I heard that I would be doing Zoom calls with my teachers, I was ecstatic. So I'm going to be doing online. I'm going to do an online master's in arts in mass communications at the University of Florida. And it's all done online. You're talking with your teacher, in a little circle. They're all adjuncts, and you're on a Zoom call. And I know that people don't like Zoom calls, but I have to say it's a lot better than a lot of the very, very cold courses at the University of Arizona where you never meet your teacher. Yeah. All they do is grade you, maybe leave a comment here, but the rest of it is reading a book and, sometimes a video.
Well, it'll also allow you to continue traveling.
Yes.
Which is something that I don't think you're ready to stop doing. And settle down in a nice area and find a girlfriend, that kind of thing, get married.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
No. And I'm going to be able to actually talk with my teachers.
Yeah.
Maybe make a few connections.
We spent most of this week in wine country.
Yeah.
We started off
Constantia.
Down in Constantia, yes. And then we drove up to Franschhoek.
Yeah.
Which looks like Switzerland and Africa combined, a mashup where you can go into a vineyard and there are signs that say, "Beware of the baboons."
No.
You didn't see them, Iden, because you weren't with us. You didn't see the beware of the baboons.
It just looked like Portugal. That's it. It just looked like Portugal.
Well, anyway, there were baboons there.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I didn't see any baboons, but one of our tour guides, actually she was one of the tourism officials who showed us around, talked about a rogue baboon being... No, it wasn't our tour. I'm sorry. It was the general manager that I interviewed over at Le Clé de la Montagne. And she said that there was a rogue baboon a couple of years back.
Le Clé de Montagne.
Le Clé de Montagne. I think I added one extra le in there. I don't even know. What does a rogue baboon do?
You added an extra de le. Le Clé de Montagne.
I'm not French. So there, that's probably why I add extra words. Anyway, rogue baboons and wineries. Now, was the baboon a rogue baboon because he was drinking wine, or was he just a rogue baboon?
How the hell does a baboon get access to wine?
I don't know.
What do you think? They have the silos just out in the open for the baboon to drink?
Maybe, but the
baboon,
wine is good though.
If the baboon makes it to the wine cellar, then
you got a problem. Aren, what did you think of wine country besides the rogue baboons?
No, I didn't think anything about the rogue baboons. I didn't see any rogue baboons, at least. I thought it was great. Constantia was really amazing. It was quite a beautiful place. We stayed in a place called Nova Constantia, and it's a quiet place. There's not a lot going on. There's some hiking trails. But once you get to Franschhoek, it really reminds me a lot of the wine country, well, any wine country. But it's just so nice. It's so unspeakably beautiful.
Oh,
what do you like about wine country?
Oh, you want me to... Okay. What did I like about wine country? I liked how it was very peaceful. Where you could, in the morning, you could get up, open the window to your hotel, and you would hear nothing. It was... Well, except for that Hadada, that loud bird that kept squawking in the morning.
That's a duck. The Hadidas, I have never heard a Hadada, but the ducks, yeah, those woke you up.
I wanted to get up and exercise my right under the Second Amendment to eliminate that noise.
We're in South Africa. They don't have a Second Amendment.
Okay. Actually, here's something that we should talk about, and that is stereotypes of Americans.
What?
Everyone here thinks that we're packing heat. Most South Africans that I've met believe that we Americans are heavily armed. That we travel with firearms and that we're not afraid to use them.
What? You can't travel with firearms?
Well, I know that, but they think that we do.
What?
So when I make a joke about, I'm going to exercise my rights under the Second Amendment,
They
of course
put their hands. They're
like, oh, that's so funny. But they're not laughing. They actually think that we're going to, we're these gunslinging cowboys.
It's that awkward laughter.
They do believe that.
I don't know what they do and don't.
I remember seeing the GM.
They look at you funny when you start talking about guns.
I remember you talking about that with the GM. I could see her face.
I know.
She had that.
The frozen smile. Exactly.
It's like I'm in producing this fake laughter. I'm hoping that you're about to say, "Just kidding."
Just kidding. I know. And of course we do not own, just for the record, we do not own firearms. We don't travel with firearms. Well, that's about it from South Africa. This
What
has
a way to
definitely
leave
been
off.
one of the strangest podcasts that I've ever done.
This is the shortest too. Why is it so short?
I think I know.
Yeah, I have an interview I have to run to, and I think that we've said all that.
I think you know.
I think we've said all.
Yeah,
that
any
think
more,
you've said all that you
any
need to
more,
say.
and we're totally canceled.
I think that if we say any more, right, we'll get canceled, or this podcast will get canceled. And this is only episode 3. Let's wait until we've got big Joe Rogan numbers before they do that to us.
Yeah, baby. And then Samuel Jackson can come on and comment for us.
Yes, he can say whatever he wants on our podcast.
He can say whatever he wants. You know what? I kind of like Samuel Jackson.
Yeah,
I love
I
his
think
interviewing skills. His skills with interviewers, I should say.
He might offend some of our listeners, but that's okay. We'll take that step when
It doesn't matter.
So anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Elliott Confidential podcast. Safe travels, kids.
I would do that one more time, that outro.
We'll see you next time. Safe travels.
Safe travels. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Ciao.